right. Market's been closed here for almost 5 minutes, so we'll get to take a look at the closing price here. Market just got a pop there right into the close, so we'll see how that changes the chart here. All right, but let's go ahead and get started. Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for April 1st, 2022. Q's down 0.19. SPY actually up a little bit, up 0.28, and then IWM up actually 1.1%. Came into today bearish on the Qs and SPY for a short-term pullback. Okay, we saw that yesterday. We got a slight bounce. We got sold, and I was sticking with the bearish bias that we came in with. Okay, and staying bearish on the market just for the short term. Okay, hopefully, tried to make that clear. Can't really be bullish on this daily. The monthly has got the pullback going. The weekly now is into the downtrend, but we were up into an extended spot, and the hourly was starting to break the uptrend. Therefore, all right, expecting a short-term pullback. Now, to what area? That's kind of been the question. I was aiming for something as we get closer to this 20 MA here. Not expecting a deep pullback, expecting a shallow pullback, but how shallow? So that's the thing, is actually on the daily here, on Monday we break above today's high, that is triggering a buy setup, a very shallow one, okay, but it is triggering a buy setup. So looking at today's chart, what I would like to see, okay, is a sell setup on the hourly. Okay, sell setup on the hourly. We would still have to move up a little bit more around the declining 20 MA on the hourly, and then trigger that. And then once we trigger that, I think we'll have all the reference we need. Okay, so let's say Monday morning we move up first a little bit, and then we start to consolidate. This 20 MA catches up. We try to break lower in the afternoon, and then we either Tuesday or by the end of the day take out that pivot. Okay, then we're back to all out bullish. No more short-term bearish bias. Okay, that's what I would need to see, is because that would confirm that the downtrend is over. Now, could we reasonably on Monday move up and then just continue to grind back up from there? I think we could also. Okay, so what I would like to see again is the sell setup, and then whether the sell setup follows through. Now, what if we get the sell setup, we sell off in the morning, and then it actually continues lower, right? Then we will resume the short-term bearish bias. But for me on Monday, I'm going to go neutral, all right? Just because we have this kind of daily buy setup. Not a really good one, not a very high quality one, but it is there. And we've kind of gotten, in kind of the most inconspicuous way, a daily pullback, which is what we were saying through this whole run up. I'm looking for a daily pullback. Okay. Now we got a really shallow one that could just be a reflection of how bullish the market has been in the last 2 weeks. That it's been such a grind. We pull back, we get a very short-term downtrend on the Qs here. But neutral for me on Monday. I would like to get a little bit more information. Like I said, that sell setup would be one thing. If we could gap down on Monday underneath today's low, then we'd be back to bearish. If we were to gap up on Monday, then depending on where we gap up to, especially if it's a small gap, then I'm still going to be kind of wait and see. Okay, because I want to see, is this hourly downtrend going to continue, or is this rally just going to lead to a lower high? That's the question. So I'm going off of the hourly, going to inform me about the larger time frames. Okay. Let's get into today's plays. A lot of really small plays on the today. BB was break even, and then Verb and AKBA made a little bit, partially just because on the AKBA it was hard to get filled. Verb was fine, just didn't go that far. Okay, so we'll take a look at them kind of in order. BB played as a 2-minute base breakdown right here. Okay, initially tried to move up, came back to the lows and based. Okay, so the BB, there's the gap down, not the best gap down. I think the Verb was a better gap down. We had some other ones, but did have room, I thought, to some support. So I like the weakness, and because I had a bearish bias going into today, also wanted to play more shorts, which you'll see, right? All these are short ideas. This broke down and then made new lows, and then after lunch it kind of bottomed. So this just was trailed off the hourly. Okay, off the hourly right there. So basically back where I got it. So was up okay a little bit at some point in lunch, but not for very long. Okay, on the BB. All right, next play. I think the next one was the AKBA. AKBA and Verb kind of happened at the same time. And this was just a really nice base here. And I was trying to get filled more on this. Look at this base. Really nice, huh? And then I wasn't really trying to play it as a scalp. Just play it as a chart trade. But yeah, I couldn't get filled that much on this. So that was nice. This would have been the biggest, but it just didn't get filled that much on the AKBA. All right, it was very tight. Only a penny stop. Okay. So yeah, I went about 5 cents on the AKBA. And then the Verb, another penny stock. Now I know, and I've said this before, it's not that I especially like the penny stocks, but they have just some of the best setups. And Verb, I thought, was one of the best gaps today. Verb. I thought this was good, and I like the PLSE, which actually I couldn't get filled. I tried playing the Pulse. I tried playing right here on this break. Didn't get filled, and I tried again at 50, couldn't get filled, and then the move was over after that. So the two best gap down. So, it's not because I especially like this price or because, they give tighter stops, not necessarily, although it is common more frequently. They do give really tight stops. But here it was on the Verb, just a base breakdown here. Right like that. Okay. So very tight stop. Got a little bit out here and then was looking to add actually. If this 15-minute ended up basing and then breaking down, but instead it went up. So I still had most of it at that point, so that also trailed off the hourly, just like the BB. Okay, trailed off the hourly there. So yeah, that one, the Verb, I thought was a little bit disappointing because I thought that was going to be the play of the day. I thought that was going to be the SHCR because they're very similar setups. They're very similar gaps. So I was kind of surprised that this didn't work better. Basing at the lows, right? And I expected, this was going to keep on going. I mean, the drop was nice, but, I definitely expected more. Here was the SHCR from yesterday, right? So I was definitely expecting more. SHCR, not quite a penny stock, but low price as well. But look at this gap. Clearing, no support, right? Here's the Verb. I think there is, if you zoom back far enough, there is some support, I think at 70 cents or so. But, I mean, that's from, I don't know, 2018. So I don't think it's going to be that relevant. But, yeah, just looking for stuff that has the biggest potential, I think, to move. Just turns out they didn't move that much. But, that's why we trail. That's what the hourly trail is for. So that if you have a play gets the first target, you don't have to give all of the back half back. And then also if you're not right, I mean, actually the Verb and the AKBA made money, and then the BB was break even. So even though actually on all of these, I mean, I guess AKBA stayed kind of weak. I thought they would downtrend for the rest of the day. And then you see the Verb moved up, AKBA just went flat, and BB actually moved up. There's actually two of them still made money. So, I just kind of stuck with the plan, trailed these because, of course, I mean, we always have the room and understanding we could be wrong, which is why we use stops, which is why we trail them, right? So I thought it was maybe the least exciting day of the week. Maybe kind of the least amount of good setups and good gaps, but we try to do the best with what we got. Okay. All right. That's going to do it for today's market wrap. Hope you had a nice week. Have a great weekend, and I will talk to you on Monday. Good night, everyone.